What a day. I didn't think I was going to get here today. I had so many problems today. I'm going to put that aside. I got it all sorted out and figured out. And I had challenges in Restream. I had challenges in OBS. I had challenges with my microphone. All the technical things are learned today. Thank goodness. So, we are going to talk about sleep today. And I'm going to bring up some notes for myself here. And let's just go ahead and get right into it. I'm not going to be able to see your chat questions today, so if you have them, go ahead and throw them into the Telegram room for me, would you? And I'll answer them from there. Getting enough sleep is really important. You have so many different systems in your body that rely on your body getting enough sleep. And if we want to talk about insomnia and how many people don't get enough sleep, it is about 33% of the population. As we increase with age, diabetes, increasing age and diabetes are often associated with insomnia. There can be socioeconomic factors and other comorbidities involved, anxiety, depression, things like this. Stress, work stress, family stress, those kinds of things can keep us up at night. Being dehydrated can keep you up at night too. Women are, sorry for the dogs, women are far more likely to have insomnia than men are, and about 40% of women are more likely to have insomnia than men. So, one second. Hey guys! We have some company, so they're barking at the company. Some problems that can be associated with insomnia. One second, I gotta solve this. Hey, go outside. Dogs incoming. All right, totally horrible to have dead air, but they weren't going to stop till they got let out to see the company, so sorry about that. That's just how it is. All right, let me get here. It's been this kind of a day, and we'll just get on with it, shall we? I want this behind me so it doesn't get in my way. All right. My gosh. All right. So let's get back to our conversation here. With insomnia, you have a 2 to 8.5% rise in incidences of your standard comorbidities like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, thyroid disease, asthma, kidney disease, liver disease, migraines, and a small handful of other things that we constantly suffer with as human beings. So when you have a lack of sleep, it is a contributor to the rise in the incidences of these other things like heart disease. So getting enough rest is really important. there is a certain percentage of individuals who don't get enough sleep but don't perceive that they have insomnia. So they think that they are getting enough sleep, but they're not really getting enough rest. They just don't perceive it. They go to bed, they close their eyes, and they think that they're getting some sleep, but they're tossing and turning. They're not getting enough deep sleep. They're not getting enough deep REM sleep, things like this. So about 27% of 25 to 27% of the patients surveyed in this particular study didn't even know that they had insomnia. They just thought that they always felt tired, and it was pretty terrible. When you have insomnia, I'm gonna skip here to my next page here. When you have insomnia, your hormones can get out of balance. Your body doesn't have time to rest and recover. Your brain needs the time to unwind and rest and recover. If you don't, they did a study and they broke it down into a 24-hour, 36-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour, 96-hour periods of time, and how much not only your mental health degraded, but your physical health degraded. And of course, the longer you go without sleep, the more you're going to degrade in both areas. But I'm waiting for my page to come up here. When you don't have so getting your sleep is pretty important. And the longer, yes, I said this, the longer you go without sleep, of course, the worse it gets. You become more accident prone. You can have, your immune system starts to crash, and you become more vulnerable to respiratory illnesses like catching a cold or a flu. Your body doesn't have time to recover. You can actually have insulin resistance from not getting enough sleep. A lot of things like this can happen to you from not getting enough sleep. And in the middle age, you need between 7 and 8 hours of sleep. When you're a teenager, you need 10 hours of sleep. When you're an infant, you need about 16 hours of sleep a day. And when you're elderly, it's about 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Generally, that is the range for the best health, for getting enough rest, for giving your brain time to unwind, for your body to do the processes that it does while you're resting. You need about that many hours of sleep. Some statistics that happen when you don't get enough sleep. First of all, each cycle in your sleep will vary in length, but they can last about 90 minutes. So if you get an hour and a half of REM sleep, that's pretty good. If you get an hour and a half of deep sleep, that's pretty good. And if you get an hour and a half of REM sleep and deep sleep, you're doing really great. And when you cycle through the different phases of sleep, your body functions slow down, and some of them stop altogether. So around 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning, certain metabolic processes start coming back online. Your kidneys start waking up, your liver starts waking up. So, you notice that around that time, often you have to get up and use the restroom and get moving forward in, you're a little more awake, your body's starting to function again. You might need a drink of water because your metabolism's starting to go again. And when you're in deep sleep, which is considered the most critical stage of sleep for regenerating the brain and the body. Um, if you lower your hey honey,
Loki. Loki, come on.
he's under the everybody's under the desk, let him out.
Look, come on, let's go. Look.
So come here, Opal. Opal, come here. Just excuse me. Okay. And around and behind. And here we go. Okay. I'm all tangled up again. Heck. Hi. So, sorry. Let's see. Rapid eye movement takes up about 20 to 25% of your total sleep. And we're back to deep sleep here. Deep sleep is believed to be the most critical stage of sleep for regenerating both your body and your brain. Deep sleep decreases across your lifespan. So you are going to get less deep sleep as you age. So trying to set up your sleep patterns and your sleep habits so that you can get as much deep sleep as possible is really important. We spend about 2 hours every night dreaming, and that happens mostly during REM sleep. And you'll get a good chunk of that through the middle phases of the night. You'll fall asleep, you go down into some deep sleep, you come into REM, you cycle back down into deep, you come into REM, you cycle back down into deep sleep. But most of the time, you dream when you're in REM sleep. On the average, most adults sleep about 54% of the night on their side, 38% of the time on their back, and about 7% on their stomach. I am not a stomach sleeper. I cannot do it. I sleep mostly on my right side. Where do you sleep? Do you sleep on your side? Do you sleep on your back? Are you comfortable enough when you sleep? These are, think about when you get in bed at night. Is your pillow comfortable? Is it time for a new pillow? Is your bed too hot? Do you have too many blankets? We've got to take a couple blankets off. Our bed has been cold, but I got a little excited about it and over blanketed the bed, so I got to take some blankets off. Because when you're too hot, you can't really get into rest. You've got to have a 5 or so degree temperature change in order for your brain to start to relax. If you're too hot, you just won't go to sleep. You can take a warm shower and then step into the cool air and allow that cool to be the temperature change as you get into your night clothes or no clothes and get into your bed and get to sleep. Most people sleep better when it's cool in their room. When you pull the covers up, your body regulates the temperature underneath the blankets, and the cool air around you is really conducive to good sleep. If it's hot in the summertime, of course, you can take a cold shower before bed and cool off your body and sleep on top of the sheets, or just pull up the sheet and not the blankets. I like to be covered, so I got to pull up at least a sheet. Almost 5 out of 10 workers say that they are tired during the day and 7 out of 10 say they are tired when their workday is done. So, getting sleep, getting adequate sleep is really important for you to be able to do your job well. And I'm scrolling here. When you have, I did a little bit of study because I wanted to see if there was um, a natural way to handle sleep problems, or if it really required medication, or what was required to get better sleep. More than 80% of diagnosable sleep disorders can be managed naturally with a change of habit, with a change of pattern, with a change of temperature in the room, and without medication. So, if you want to change your sleeping habits and get better rest, know that you don't necessarily need to go to the Benadryl or the Ambien or things like this right away. There are things that you can do to set up your sleeping space and your sleeping routine so that you get a better night's rest. Um, with the research showing that more natural approaches are effective for almost all sleep disorders, that is really encouraging. I have been a chronic insomniac my whole life, and the times that I got the best sleep are when I know that my hormones are in balance, so my estrogen, my progesterone, my testosterone are in balance. Um, and, and as we come into menopause, and if you're taking hormone replacement therapy, the progesterone is great if you take it at night. It helps you go to sleep, helps you stay asleep. I've used herbal teas at nighttime, but for me, I have to drink those about an hour before I go to bed so that I can drink my tea, get warm, get settled, cool my legs off, turn off my screens, kind of wind down, and let the tea do its job. But I also want to go to the bathroom before I go to bed because I don't like to get out of bed once I'm in. So, insomnia is really tough. Some people who struggle with insomnia have the issue of not being able to get to sleep, and some people who have insomnia have the problem of getting to sleep right away and then waking up and being awake the rest of the night. If you have the second kind of insomnia, where you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep, a couple of things to try. Don't turn on your phone because any light is going to stimulate your brain. Don't turn on lights when you walk around the house. Get up, get a drink, go to the bathroom, do what you need to. Change your body temperature a little bit by moving through the house. Lay back down. If you're still up and your brain feels very active or you're very anxious, get up out of bed, turn the light on, do something for an hour. Read, but don't turn on your screen. Read, I don't know, crochet, do a puzzle, anything that's not on the screen or television. Listen to some music, walk around, do a little stretching, maybe take a shower, anything to reset your body temperature, reset your metabolism, and give yourself about 60 minutes, and then try and lay back down again. Turn the lights off, turn the sound off, turn your music off, turn your sound off, and let it be dark, and let the dark do its job. If you find that you have regular wake up and stay awake episodes, there are a couple things you can try. You need to get more sunlight during the day. It's really helpful. Get outside, take a walk. sit in the chair for 20 minutes, listen to some music while you do, just be outside for about 20 minutes and get some sun. And then get into bed. We talked last time about the different routines that you could set up for nighttime, for bedtime. So set up your bedtime, and after you've had some sun for the day, and then in the evening get into bed and try it and see if you don't have some wake up and stay awake insomnia. If you do, increase your exercise. If you continue after getting the sunlight, then increase your exercise. And maybe take 20 minutes before bed to do some restorative yoga, or during the day to do a little more heavy and more physical activity than you usually do. You've got to move your body, and you've got to use your body to tire your brain out. So that is really a big thing that's helpful for you. So we'll go back. We're going to make sure we get enough sunlight, make sure we get enough exercise, make sure you get enough water. And we talked about water last time too. When you get enough water, all of your organs and your cells that have the processes they need to do will be hydrated enough so that they can do that, and you don't feel thirsty and you don't lay in bed. Sometimes people don't recognize when they're thirsty, and once they've gotten into bed, they don't think about, am I thirsty? Am I hot? Am I hungry? All of these things are things we got to think about. When you're getting ready for bed, doing your nighttime routine, check your hunger, check your thirst, and make sure you've had enough sunshine for the day. Make sure that you get enough water in the day. Those things are important to helping you get a good night's rest. Having a little tea that is relaxing and sedative can be helpful too. Listening to music can be helpful if you have a brain that will relax into the music and not start counting the measures or start counting listening for the loops. There are some channels on YouTube that have these long 12-hour music sessions for sleep, but they're on a loop, and some brains will pick up that loop, and that identifying of the loop will keep your brain awake because it is anticipating the start of the loop again. So choose your music really carefully. Make sure that it's short, maybe 30 minutes, something that isn't going to loop, something that isn't going to go on for hours, and actually stimulate your brain instead of setting it down, bringing it down into a calmer state. I find that is a really big one when I talk to people. Well, I listen to music and I'm still awake, but the brain is listening for the start of the loop, and so it starts to feel anxious because it's anticipating that loop. When you have sleep deprivation, there are several systems in your body that start to have challenges. Your central nervous system. You're good, baby. Your central nervous system gets challenged, and you run the risk of having anxiety and depression and paranoia. What you doing?
Talking about.
Okay. And if you have chronic sleep deprivation, you can have, bring her out. Over time, if you have anxiety and depression, that can move you into suicidal thinking, and it's because you're desperate for rest. Your brain is tired, and everything seems so difficult and challenging. So learning how to set your nighttime routine in order is important. And um, also, if you have bipolar disorder, it can trigger mania if you've gone too long without sleep. Your immune system suffers because while you sleep, your immune system produces protective infection fighting substances, and they help you to fight foreign invaders, bacteria, and viruses. And sleep deprivation prevents your immune system from building up its forces. It needs that time to really regenerate and give you the fortification to get out in the world every day. So, um, you will notice that when you aren't getting enough sleep, that you have a cold more often, or you have more allergic response more often, or you pick up other illnesses, or that you may even have slow wound healing from not enough sleep. Long-term sleep deprivation can also increase your risk of chronic conditions, especially diabetes and heart disease. Your insulin system and your heart really need the rest. So we'll talk in a little bit again about how to get yourself into a state of being able to rest. Your respiratory system also needs you to rest, because when you don't get enough sleep, your lungs become vulnerable to cold and flu and chronic lung illness. So that's important. Let's see. Your digestive system. So, along with eating too much and not exercising, sleep deprivation is another risk factor for gaining weight, because sleep affects the levels of two hormones. Oh, my mouth. It's just been a frustrating day, so. Let's see. Sleep affects the levels of two hormones, leptin and ghrelin, and they control the feeling of hunger and the feeling of fullness. And leptin tells your brain when you've had enough to eat, and without enough sleep, your brain reduces in leptin and raises ghrelin. So your feeling of satiety goes down and your feeling of hunger goes up. So it becomes like an appetite stimulant. Being tired is an appetite stimulant. And if you're tired and it's nighttime and you're getting up and snacking because you're laying in bed feeling tired, your hormones are changing, and you feel like you want to have a snack. Eating later at night when your body is not really in the mode of processing and digesting and nourishing your body, it slows down your digestion, which slows down your absorption and all of that. And I know that there's conversations about calories in and calories out, but typically at nighttime when you are snacking, you're not eating healthier foods. So this is a way that lack of sleep increases weight gain. Let's see. Lack of sleep also causes your body to release less insulin after you eat. So when you're tired, you're not getting enough insulin. And that insulin is necessary to keep your blood sugar low. So sleep deprivation is really important for your digestion. And when we get here to the cardiovascular system, lack of sleep affects your heart and your blood vessels, so your arteries and your capillaries and your veins. And that affects your blood sugar and your blood pressure and your inflammation levels. So this sleep is really critical. And we talk regularly about how sleep disrupt the endocrine system. So it can interrupt growth hormone production and the pituitary gland, which is like it is the master controller of all of your hormones, your thyroid, your estrogen, your testosterone, your progesterone, your cortisol, all of it. So then you wind up with memory issues and mood changes, and you have trouble thinking and have poor concentration. Your immune system is weak. You're more prone to accidents. You're at a higher risk for diabetes, weight gain. It can lower your sex drive and put you at, and even take you off of your balance. So getting enough sleep is really critical with these things being the challenge here. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen here. And we need to rest to recharge. Getting a good night's rest is essential for maintaining optimal physical and mental health. During sleep, your body repairs tissues, restores energy, and strengthens your immune system, allowing you to recover from the demands of daily life. Chronic sleep deprivation can impair your cognitive function, reduce your concentration, hinder decision-making abilities, making everyday tasks more challenging, making your patience short, and it can disrupt the regulation of hunger hormones, which we talked about just a minute ago, and increase your cravings for unhealthy foods. Long-term sleep deprivation is linked to a higher risk for diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. During sleep, your body releases growth hormones, which is vital for muscle repair, bone growth, and overall cellular regeneration. REM sleep, another critical stage, helps regulate mood and supports creativity and emotional resilience. If you're tired, you can't cope. So sleep is really important just to keep you in the phase of coping. REM sleep is a very restorative process, and it balances your nervous system and helps you manage stress and enables you to wake up feeling refreshed and ready for your day. Adequate sleep also helps you with having more clear skin, a sharper brain, better physical performance, and so sleep, is a cornerstone of wellness, really. Prioritizing sleep hygiene. We talked a little bit about this last week. Maintaining a consistent bedtime, avoiding screens before bed, creating a calm and peaceful environment in your room, saving your bed for sleep and intimacy, making sure the temperature of your room is good, and doing activities before bedtime all enhance both the quality and the quantity of your sleep. So embracing healthy sleep habits is really important for long-term health and recovering health. If you've been ill and not been able to get well, focusing your energy on creating a healthier bedtime and a healthier sleep routine is really critical. And it will, over time, improve. I can tell you that because I am 57 years old and finally sleeping. When I get into bed at night, I can go to sleep in about 10 minutes. And if I have to get up and get back into bed, I can go back to sleep. My life is a lot different. My health is so much better because I've been able to get a really good night's rest. I didn't sleep when I was a kid. I didn't sleep when I was a mom. I didn't sleep well when I was, in my late 30s, early 40s. I finally started getting some sleep, and it's made the biggest difference in my life. On top of nutrition, sleep is the next most important thing in the things I needed to get in order to be feeling better. And I can tell you that the energy that you put into creating a good bedtime routine and having a space in, you're making your room a beautiful place to go to sleep where it's quiet and it's dark and it's cool. It doesn't need to be cold, but it needs to be cooler. It needs to be cooler than the rest of the day, and it needs to, in about 65 is about right for you to get a perfect night's sleep. And I didn't believe it, and I wasn't sure that I could do it because I don't like to be cold, but 65 actually really turns out to be the best temperature. So here we have a few restorative sleep strategies. Go ahead and use this checklist to create a calming sleep environment and establish a consistent routine for better rest. For your evening routine, set a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time. We talked about this last week. Create a relaxing bedtime ritual. Engage in activities like reading, meditating, gentle stretching to signal your body it's time to wind down. Check it off. Limit your screen time. Avoid stimulants, so caffeine and nicotine 4 to 6 hours before bed. And if you're sensitive, not after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you have an early dinner and you go to bed, if you eat about 5 and you go to bed around 10, have a snack, but have a high protein snack. Easy on the carbs, no sugar, okay? Let's see. Now, your sleep environment. Make sure the room is cool. 60 to 67. 60 is too cold for me. But 65, 63, I don't know, 63 to 67 for me is just about perfect. I can take my socks off. The blankets feel good. And the warmth under the covers is just perfect for me to be able to just relax and settle in and go to sleep. If you live in a noisy area, get some ear plugs. Quiet it down, or a white noise machine. I don't like the sound of the white noise, so I don't like that. The fan, the fan can be a good one, but if it ticks or clicks, you want to turn it down so that it doesn't do that, because your brain will start recognizing that and it'll keep you up. Make sure your lights are dim, and if you don't live in an area where it's dark, get heavier curtains or an eye mask. Corey wears an eye mask. I don't like things on my head, so the room's nice and dark. And he wears an eye mask. So, we both get our darkness. He likes it a little more dark than I do. And invest in comfort. Make sure your mattress is good. Make sure, if your mattress is old, it's time for a new one. Spend the money. Your sleep will improve. Your body will feel better. Replace your pillows about every year and a half. I have one pillow that I really like. It's soft. I roll it up. I tuck it under my neck where I have an injury. But the rest of the pillows in the bed are new about once every year to year and a half. Make sure that your sheets are clean once a week, and make sure that the bedding feels good to your skin. Flannel feels terrific. Bamboo is amazing. I love bamboo sheets. And save your bedroom activities for intimacy or sleep, or a little bit of reading, but primarily keep your bedroom to those activities so that when you get into that space, your brain is triggered. Hey, this is time to wind down. Hey, this is time to be a little romantic and snuggle up. but it's not entertainment time, it's not phone call time, it's not socializing time. So use your bedroom really and truly as your sanctuary. For your daytime, habits that will help you get some better sleep. Get more natural light exposure. If you work in an office or if you work at home, make sure you go outside. Open your windows up, let the breeze come in. It's a little cold right now because it's winter time, but as soon as it starts warming up, you can open up your windows and make it a little bit warmer. Let the air come in. You can smell the blooming flowers and trees, and it's really nice. But you do need about 20 minutes every day of sunshine on your skin. Not just for the vitamin D production, but to maintain the balance of your circadian rhythm. Exercise regularly. You need about 30 minutes a day. 20 minutes if you're doing it at nighttime. Yeah, but don't do real vigorous stuff during, about a half an hour before bed, because you get a lot of dopamine and epinephrine and all kinds of things that really get you up. So if you're going to do some exercise, do your heavier stuff earlier in the day, and if you want to do some wind down things to take the tension out of your body. Sometimes when you lay down in bed, you feel like the tension from your desk, and you feel the tension from driving, and you feel the tension from just life on your body. So do some more quiet things like stretching, and yoga is really good at nighttime. Put on a little quiet music, dim the lights, light a candle and some incense, and get on the floor and stretch. Stretch your hips, stretch your back, stretch your arms, and pull out some of that physical tension that you hold in your body all day, so that when you lay down, the mattress feels amazing. And if you can, limit your naps. Limit your naps to 20 to 30 minutes, and do it early in the afternoon. If you nap after 3 o'clock, you're not going to be able to go to sleep till midnight. So take a nap early in the afternoon, 20 minutes, a little power cat nap. And manage stress. Practice managing your stress. Stress reducing techniques like deep breathing, journaling, and mindfulness. We talked about some of those activities last time. And we talked about those again on our Saturday class. And stress management is really important. When you lay down in bed, if you start thinking about all the things you have to do tomorrow because you don't want to don't forget this, don't forget this. Get a piece of paper up. Don't grab your phone because you don't want to get the screen light from your phone in there. So grab a piece of paper, turn the light on, write down the things that are on your mind, and put them down and turn the light back off. If you get into list making for the next day, write it down so that it's on paper and you don't have to hold on to that thought, oh, I don't forget this, don't forget this. It's just easier if you write it down on paper, stick it in your notebook or your purse or your pocket or, your backpack, whatever you take with you when you go out the next day. Then you'll have it and you don't have to worry about it. Your mind will be at ease and you'll be able to relax. Keep a sleep diary. Track your sleep habits and start looking for things that you can improve or things that are working really well for you. If something's working really well for you, make it a little bigger, make it a little better, spend more time on it, and take out the things. When you take out a thing, you want to put in a thing that is working well for you. So if you have something that's working well for you, make it better. If you have something that's not working so great, take it out and either use the thing that is working well for you more or find another similar thing to similar habit to utilize in your bedtime routine and ritual. Some relaxing scents at bedtime are lavender, pine, fir, vetiver, frankincense. Those are some ylang ylang and rose. Those are some really nice aromas for bedtime. They're um, rich, they're complex, and they're very soothing to the mind and very soothing to your energy. So if you have a diffuser, set it up and turn it on with some of those oils in there. It's really, really effective. And again, we're going to come back to being hydrated. About an hour before bed, make sure you get enough water so that your body can manage all its processes. Your brain needs to clean itself. Your kidneys need to do their work. All your little cells need that water to do repair and to fight disease and to fight illness and to fight new infections and things that have come along your way during the day. At the end of the day, take a moment at the end and consider what you'll do today to improve your sleep tonight, to improve your sleep tomorrow night, and the next night. One thing. Think about your routine. Think about the time you go to bed. Think about your screen time. Think about what you're listening to before bed. If I listen to things that are really dramatic, I have a hard time unwinding because I start worrying. So I don't want to worry at nighttime. And if I start having thoughts about things that are my typical worries, I'll write it down or I'll tell myself, hey, you can think about this tomorrow. That problem isn't going anywhere. What else can I put in place of it? And I wait for a second. And then I think about my grandchildren, and I think about my farm, and I think about Corey, and I think about the things that really give me a lot of joy and happiness. And I think about the things that I'm very grateful for. So when I start thinking about the things that are beautiful and good and in order in my life, my brain can rest and I can set those other things aside till the morning. So in the summertime, for me, there's a point where it's just too hot and we've got to cool the room down, so we bring an extra cooler in. When it's wintertime, I put on an extra layer on my body of clothing so that I can stick my feet out and I can not be cold. I moved my bed. I moved our bed because it was on a wall that I just wanted it in a different position, and it has improved both of our sleep. For Corey, the alcohol, not drinking anymore, has given him significantly better sleep. He doesn't snore at night anymore, and when he gets in bed, he's able to close his eyes, and in a couple minutes, he's always been a good go-to-sleeper, but not me. But he can stay asleep now, and he sleeps really well because he quit drinking alcohol at night. So, and he's not drinking any. So, no alcohol for Corey has made a big difference. What are the things that you will do to improve your sleep? Do you need new pillows? Do you need some new sheets? Do you need to rearrange your room a little bit? Make your bedroom your sanctuary. Make it a place worthy of the kind of care that your body is giving to you while you're resting. It's working hard even though you're asleep. So give it a beautiful space to do that work in. Make sure it's hydrated and well fed, and that you've gone through and done the things that you need to, taken them off your mind. Let's see. So we did this last week, and I'm going to include this in this segment here of your worksheets. Those are your morning routine and your evening routine we're going to review this again. Don't set a weekday bedtime and a weekend bedtime. Have a wind down activity that you do. I like to draw or color or, um, do art journaling for bedtime. Screens off, music on, little bit of tea. I don't want to think about the difficulties in the world at bedtime. I don't want to think about the areas of my life that are difficult or painful. And if they want to be persistent, I will write them down so that I can address them again in the morning. And just test it. Just test it. If you have persistent thoughts as the day winds down, start writing them on paper and notice that in about 2 weeks, you will really be able to write them down and leave them because you know in the morning you can pick it up and come back to it. And making your bedroom a comfortable place to be. And lastly, continue your gratitude practice. When you continue that gratitude practice, it sets you in a state of peace, comfort, connectedness, and well-being. And that is key for being able to get a good night's rest. Remember, 85% of sleep disorders can be handled naturally, organically, without medications, therapies, or treatments. So it's really up to you if you want to get a good night's rest to put some effort into making your bedtime work for you. And lastly, let's reflect here on which routines are working for you at bedtime and which routines need a little fine-tuning. Take the time and write those out. So, sleep is a necessary thing, and I know that sometimes even when it comes to going to bed, we have a little bit of FOMO. We get a little bit of fear of missing out, but you won't. Anything that can be done at midnight or 2 in the morning can be done at 2 in the afternoon. And probably better for it. So get your exercise, drink your water, spend some time and carefully craft your bedtime routine. If it's sticking your feet, sometimes it even feels good. If you can't get in a full shower, don't want to get in a full shower, run some water over your feet, change your body temperature, put a little lotion on, run some essential oils in your diffusers, and make your bedtime a really beautiful close to each and every day. You've worked hard, you've had a myriad of experiences, and it's time to let your body rest and regenerate. And I hope that has been helpful and informative to you. And if you have questions for me, stick them over into the Telegram room and I'll be happy to answer them. And when I'm done with the program here, I'm going to put your worksheets in the Telegram room as well. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for your patience today.